and gentlemen, I present to you America's top foundational health coach, Dr. Joe D.
Welcome to Life's Milkshake Moments. I'm so happy to be back here with you on Traverse TV and giving you another amazing guest with Life's Milkshake Moment. We've taken a little bit of a hiatus, and you're going to hear about this in just a moment because I finished the manuscript. It's now going to proofing, and you'll hear all about it. My solo book, The Outgrowth of My Dissertation, which the book is called 21 Days to Your Best You, Life for Keys and Excellence. And the keys to this life of excellence, and keys to the life of excellence is from my guest tonight, Dr. Herman Marigny. And we'll get to him in a moment. For those of you that are just hearing my voice for the first time, welcome. If you've heard me for a while, well, let's get into it. I am Dr. Jody Beer, known as America's top foundational health coach. We go into foundational healing and help in the foundations of health, foundations of living, and foundations of hope. As you heard the vocalist, Alicia Williamson, you hear me talking about me singing on those Grammy Award and Dove Award vocals with Alicia Williamson. There is hope. There is hope. And the context, if you're not familiar with Life's Milkshake Moments, is life is like a milkshake. Choose your ingredients wisely, and when you do, your life will be oh so sweet. And when we're focusing on the pillar today of the financial pillar, that is certainly the case now, isn't it? My background is of 4 decades. I've had the honor and privilege and just the appreciation to bring not 300,000, 30,000 clients to lose over 1 million pounds of toxic fat lost. When I hear that figure, sometimes it takes my breath away that people have trusted me so that we take this toxic fat, 30,000. But in the COVID era, it's been 3,000 people that have reclaimed, regenerated, and restarted their lives. As we're going to be talking about here today, the financial pillar is the thing that causes the most stress, and stress causes inflammation, and inflammation is the number one cause of all disease. Dr. Herman Marigny is going to give us tools, steps, and really affordable tips. I'm so excited to have someone what I can truly say, a financial expert, where we say your health is your wealth. Why is your health your wealth? Because so often business owners, so often we strive so to get wealth, but we expend our health. Herman is going to take that and turn it on its head tonight so that we can achieve wealth and regain or maintain our health. I'm continuing now to empower individuals. As you know, what I do, this small town girl from Montana, I knew I had to do something. And I knew that I was a doer way back in my early years when I could sing. And sing I did. But my singing career with the Atlanta Opera, the New York City Opera, took a turn when I found out I was expecting our first unborn child. If you are hearing a spark, think, maybe I want to join Herman. Maybe I want to do this. Maybe I want to mentor with Dr. Jody, because I'm taking on 2 more clients this next 6 months that want to intern and mentee with me so they can not only get their certification as a health coach, but they can get CEOs towards either a bachelor's or a master's degree. I can say truthfully, when I had this unborn baby in myself, the spark just came about me. I must take care of this baby. I knew how to take care of myself being a vocalist because this is your instrument. But how was I going to do it with this baby? Eating for 2, I didn't like that idea. Walked into the Lychee League meeting, changed the trajectory of my life. But we're having refreshments here. I looked at the dining room table. In there were brownies, nacho cheese. What else? Coca-Colas, and it went on and on. Finally got to the celery. Now, ladies and gentlemen, those of you know I had a birthday this month. I'm no longer 69, I'm 60 done. Okay. So the 60 done just said this. Are you going to go ahead? This is me without any filter, of course. Are you going to go ahead and put that in that? There are two food groups, additives and preservatives. I did not know that the president of the international non-for-profit was at the meeting. And she said, well, if you're so smart, why don't you do something about it? That's what I did. I became a certified health coach and never looked back. I absolutely knew that I could empower people. I could empower people to achieve their pristine clean. Just like my youngest son then, 2 years later, I had two real quick. And I noticed that they were saying, oh, put him on medication. Ritalin, do. He never took any medication. Why? Because I saw a woman. She looked older at that time, like an elderly woman. She was only a year older than me. Okay. She was on the Phil Donahue show. And then I found out that the iconic, the legendary Hulda Clark lived in Atlanta, Georgia, where I was living just 45 minutes up the road. And she came out and she said, I don't take mentors anymore because I'm relaxing and retiring, but I feel like I need to mentee you. I got just the best kick ever. And I became and got just the bug for cleaning people from their poop to their brain. You know the rest of the story. My son never was on Ritalin, never took anything. In fact, the only thing he took were award-winning All-American honors and an Olympic medal as a silver medalist. This is what I know about health. It is not something you do, but it's what you become, a long life's journey. I can truthfully say that as we're going to learn tonight in this financial pillar, that you can go ahead and say your health is your wealth, but your wealth becomes your health. What is in your bank account needs to be a level 10. I've never seen a program. I've never seen a compassionate expert in this field like Herman Marigny. That is the truth. And I can say that you can spend, and I'm going to repeat that, all of your health as entrepreneurs trying to achieve their wealth. They did a study of 15 billionaires, and they all said the same thing, that if they were to do it again, and this was at the end stage of life, they would go ahead and spend more time on your health as you go up, rather than wishing they could reclaim it on the back end with their wealth. So whatever you do with the 6 pillars of health, whether it's spiritual, physical, mental, emotional, social, or tonight, financial, do it with all of your heart. Do it with all of your mind. As Les Brown says, do it from the hunger of your heart. And you fill your heart with the things that you desire. Your body, your mind, your spirit will surely find a way. So we're going to play a commercial first from our sponsor, which is Confidence Tones, a project that I came together and did some of the consulting with. I can truthfully say it's a one-of-a-kind product to get your 6 pillars on the right trajectory, to get your 6 pillars. And oh, by the way, there's even a program for financial health. So let's take a look, take a listen as we look at Confidence Tones.
Welcome to Confidence Tones, where we use a proprietary audio development formula called audio immersion to provide an experience that's designed to help quickly and effortlessly generate positive change in the subconscious mind when used correctly. This experience is achieved using 4 primary building blocks: brainwave modulation, invocation of positive emotions, immersive imagination stimuli, and developmental suggestion. We know of no other source in the world that provides the synergistic combination. With a good pair of headphones, you'll be able to immerse yourself into audio that's designed specifically to help you feel better, do better, and live better.
That's what Herman Marigny is going to do here to make you do better, feel better, live better. And he really does it in all 6 pillars, but we're going to just focus on this right here, right now. We're talking about the financial pillar. But when you feel better about your finances, don't you feel better about everything? When you know that your business is going, don't you feel better emotionally? Doesn't it affect your social pillar? And it affects whoever and whomever you believe in the spirit, and physically you do better as well. Well, Herman Marigny the third, and he lives up to the third. He has an amazing resume because he's an amazing individual. He's a multi-talented individual who has a remarkable career in business. Hailing from Louisiana, he's a multiple recognition winner from the SBA. That is the SBA, Small Business Association, in his field. Along with his coaching expertise, he's an accomplished entrepreneur, an educator. You will feel empowered. This is the other E when you hear from him tonight, and with a deep understanding of how business really works, of how you take the 4 quadrants and you become your own bank. And he does it in a systematic and a simple way. But remember, easy to do, easy not to do. And I can tell you, he's won multiple awards, even from the governor of Louisiana. They don't give you multiple awards unless you have a number 3 behind your name. He's the 3rd generation of success, but his view, his passion is to make a lasting impression on the community. He's made a lasting impression on me when I heard him speak at XP Mentor down in Miami, when I felt his passion for the field and his humbleness has just said, oh yeah, I'll come and be here. Well, here we are, and here what we're going to do. I want to welcome to our Traverse TV and Life's Milkshake moment. Welcome, Herman Marigny. Let's unmute your mic here. It's not doing it by itself, but I think you have to do it. There we go. We are here. Herman, we're here. We're here. We're here. Welcome to Life's Milkshake moment.
Hello.
Hello, hello. I can hear you loud and clear.
Good. Thank you, Dr. Joe Bear. Listen to me. I'm just sitting here amazed, absolutely amazed. I got the opportunity to meet you in Miami, but now I'm getting the opportunity to really know and see the work that you do and how you are uplifting our community, every community, with the inspirational stories. Man, I'm truly amazed. So thank you for the invite. I am so happy to be here.
And the southern hospitality is back, but you got to, if you know how to make good crawfish, Dr. Bear has already put in his request to come to Louisiana. So let's start with your background in Louisiana, you and how you just a little bit about you and a little bit about Herman Marigny, how that number 3 came on the back of your name, of course.
Good. So I am the 3rd one, Herman Marigny. Both my dad and my grandfather, they have passed away, but my grandfather was really an entrepreneur. My dad was really a working man in the construction field. So anyway, I grew up here in New Orleans, but I quickly went away to the Marines, where I became, I guess I received my first accolade inside the Marines by being meritoriously promoted. From the Marines, I went into the working world for a minute, worked for the state, but I found out quickly that working in academics, because I had the honor of amassing 7 college degrees in business, finance, economics, So I found out quickly that working and going to school isn't the path to financial stability. So I was fortunate enough to run into an individual that showed me the path. And then I've been taking these years to help other people along that path of financial independence and financial stability. So I have the pleasure of amassing several businesses, 4 CDL schools, trucking schools, brokerage, craft staffing companies. But I'm not here flexing. I'm here telling you that anybody can do it once they get their personal credit and their business credit in order. The banks will lend to anyone that shows financial stability. So that's what we're here to talk about tonight. That pillar that you mentioned, that we're going to talk about, that financial stability pillar that is necessary to keep you upright.
And keeping you upright is better than laying down. When you get to be horizontal, it's only one time in your sleep and getting that REM sleep. I mean, that's the truth. I can truly say 7 business degrees. I had to pick up my my chin here, but you caught that bug of entrepreneurship. Was it from Grandpa Marigny or was it your dad? Love to hear a little bit.
Yeah, grandpa. My grandfather owned a bunch of property. In fact, he moved to California, and they fought over all of his properties once he passed away. But that's the one who I kind of admired. That's the one I modeled myself after. My dad is was a loving man. His whole thing was to raise the families of 6 of us, and to provide for us. But it wasn't the economic bug. It skipped him, and I guess it hit me. Mm-hmm.
It skips a generation. You never know. So, okay, so it skipped that generation. You know what your granddaddy did. You watched him. You felt him. It molded you. How did you hold on? Said, I'm going to be just like granddaddy. I know there's a story in there.
It is. It is. So listen, I didn't grow up with a silver spoon, probably a plastic spoon, right? So I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana. So we grew up in what people call a development. I call it the projects. Most people call it the projects, right? But
Right.
right across the street from the projects, not 3 blocks down, believe it or not, we stay close to the lake area. The lake area, they have nice, luxurious homes. And so if you walk 3 blocks away, you're in a whole nother world. Some people say sort of like crossing the tracks. We crossed the avenue here, right? When you cross the avenue 3 blocks away, and it was just another life. They had limousines, they had maids, they had nice mansions on the water. And I wanted to know, what is the difference between the have and have nots? That had been my mission. Majority of my life is to find out the difference, the primary difference of why people have and why people don't have. So this is why I'm enjoying your show, because it's the same thing, right? You take steps to have to make your life better. You systematize that, doctor. So my hat is off. So I had to systematize the financial way because I admire the haves.
And my other has because we talk so much about the law of attraction and XP Mentor, the science of getting rich. It was seeing The Secret, and they said you just need to feel it, touch it. You are such a visual a man and a presenter, really extraordinary, by the way. And you just spoke from the heart. I bet I could see little Herman Marigny the third saying, I'm seeing that. I'm curious enough. I'm going to find me somebody that's going to talk to me. I can see how you did this with your personal relationship skills for real. And I mean, now let's come and bring this to the present because there's so much to unpack here. I mean, the latest and greatest in finance, and make sure that we come into that caveat that you had a business not very long, and how did you fund it completely with that trucking company? I'm putting in a personal request, okay? So tell us a little bit about this Credit Assembly credit tool. And by the way, what you see here is at Credit Assembly Inc. is where you reach out and get a hold of Herman. He has great content there, and creditassembly.com is his website. So how did you hone in on that particular niche? Because it was definitely necessary.
Man, I'm gonna say that it's God. I'm not a very religious person. I mean, I'm in the church right now, believe it or not, because I have to teach a class tonight. But spirituality, I'm more spiritual than religion. Mm-hmm. So I believe it was preordained for me to do this and to be able to disseminate this information to other people. Because you're right, I do have a gift to be able to teach. And so teaching financial literacy is what happened. But it didn't begin there. It began in the Bay Area of California, me taking a break from one of my classes, one at Berkeley University, transversed right down the street to a local pizza shop. Somebody was holding a seminar about financial literacy, and they were saying things that was adverse to what I was hearing from my professors, right? My professors at Ohio, professors at Berkeley. Like I said, I have multiple degrees. My professor was always telling me that in order to start a business to get money, you need to have financials, 2 years of this, personal financial statements, balance sheets, all of these things that they're teaching us in school.
Sure.
That's right. So to make a long story short, I ran into a young man and he told me that I didn't need all those things. I didn't believe him, Jody. I'm not going to tell doctor, I'm sorry. I didn't believe him. I didn't until he showed me the money. As that movie said, he showed me the process. And that process was he helped me get $180,000 after just opening up a corporation for 2 weeks. So when he first told me that,
it wasn't 2 years, 2 weeks.
No, against everything that I was academically trained on, right? So after that happened, it opened my eyes. Like if I can do this as a part-time worker and a student, full-time student, anybody can do this. So I studied. He sent me over the things that's needed. We're going to talk about some of those things. And it worked. It worked multiple times. The first time was 180. The next time it was millions. So that blueprint is out there. And I'm going to.
Okay, time up. You said I was 180. Then that was millions. I think it had a plural. I think it had an S on it.
It did. Millions in equipment financing for my trucking company, millions for my trucking schools. So it's the same blueprint, the same thing this brother here who was not very educated, right? I believe he dropped out of school. Since he's been back to college and he's lived his leisure now. But then I wasn't a believer, Jody. I really wasn't. I like to sit there and say I was. I knew it from the beginning, but that academic training had pressed me otherwise.
They don't, I know that our creator of all blesses them, but they just don't know. I remember hearing Coach, as I call Jay Nolan, say that he saw somebody that was teaching it about economics in high school. And he said, can you go out and get my papers that I graded in my class? It was a beat up Volkswagen. He goes, he's teaching me. You just don't know until you know. I've heard my husband say, being a college professor, a couple of PhDs, he said, the first thing that I did of graduating from college, I got back from Vietnam. I made sure if I was going to teach, I was going to have a good looking car so they believed me. But getting into this credit assembly credit tool is second to none. Please detail this for our listenership and our viewership.
Let's do that. Let's get into it, doctor. So I'm going to sum all of this up into three easy things for you to remember if you want to be able to access capital, because we live in a capitalistic system, like playing the game of Monopoly, right? The game of Monopoly does not start until the banker gives everybody money that sits at the table. For the ones that played Monopoly, that grew up with us, you know what I'm talking about. We cannot pick our pieces. We're happy to pick the horse, the car, something like that, but we cannot start buying property till we have access to capital. Now, I've been taught that having access to capital is difficult my whole life, not just in academia, but growing up in my community. I was told that you can't, you have to have money already to be given money, or they only give money to, or let's say Caucasian people. It's the craziest thing in the world. So I grew up with all of that negative stuff on one side. And when this other brother presented this to me, like, listen, that's not how finance works. The way it works is they want to loan you money. You just have to fit the financial profile. So that's what it is, doctor. They want to loan you money. They make money off of loaning you money.
Sure.
But they can't just give anybody money. So I went in and I learned what the financial profile is. And to sum it up, it is three things. And I'll elaborate if I have time. But
yes.
one thing is you have to have an optimized credit profile. And what I mean by optimized, I'm not talking about a good credit score. Anybody can make a good credit score. We can fabricate a good credit score. But an underwriter, a lender is looking for an optimized credit profile. When I say optimized, I mean they're looking at whether or not you have revolving and installment credit accounts on your credit profile. Some homes, maybe cars, high limit credit cards for revolving, right? They're looking for that. They're looking to see if you have any derogatory marks on your credit. Derogatory marks could be judgments, bankruptcies, late payments, charge-offs. Those are called derogatory marks. And so the underwriter has to sell that loan to the Wall Street, to other banks, to insurance companies. So they require that their packages, when they're sold, when they're bought, that they don't have any of these derogatory marks on them. And they also expect that the borrower to have at least 2 or 3 years worth of credit history. It has at least a credit card with at least a 5,000 limit on it. So when I say optimize to your audience, right, I mean for funding. I mean your profile speaks to a funder. So that's what we aim for at DIY Credit Optimized at Credit Assembly. We don't care about your credit score, because the funder does. The person who's going to give you capital, they care if it is optimized for funding, not for a nice score. So many times people have called me and said, hey, I have a 760 score. What can you do for me? Then I look at their file, and they paid their bills on time. So you get a lot of points for paying your bills on time, but they have low limits, and they have Capital One cards. And so even though they have a 760, their profile is not fundable. Here at Credit Assembly, at my program, DIY Credit Optimized, we are optimizing your credit for funding. So that's what's going on. That's the first pillar, is to have an optimized credit profile. So that's the first thing. Any questions about that?
No, just keep going. I mean, I love this because it's just not one thing. It's like the 6 pillars of funding. It needs to be the DIY to think revolving, real estate, on time, a limit, 2 to 3 years. Let's give it the second one. Let's go.
Beautiful. So let's say that you came to me and you have that in place. Your profile is already optimized. It's game time now. It's time to see how much capital do you need and what you need the capital for. A lot of times, if you come to me with real estate in the background, it's harder to fund you. So one of the first things that I look for is a fundable NACE code, right? National Association of Industrial Codes, right? That NACE code, I prefer it to be management, right? Any type of management NACE code. You can Google management under NACE code and they'll give you the number. So there's about 10 different NACE codes out there that is highly fundable. I chose, the first time I did this, I chose the medical NACE code. I opened up a company called Imaging Mobile Systems where we went in and we did mobile ultrasound on elderly people that was shut in. They couldn't go get their ultrasounds. They couldn't go get their medicine. And that
was that a need? I'm sorry. Was that a need? Whew.
Yeah. Oh man, before it's time, even more so now. But to speak upon it, that NACE code was medical. So that medical NACE code got me a higher limit than if I had said I was trying to open up a restaurant or a loan place or something to that, or even real estate. So your NACE code is super important when you're opening up your business because the bank requires a NACE code to put in there for the loan. So you need to make sure your NACE code is not high risk. And high risk NACE codes are, of course, adult entertainment, gambling, right? Those type of things. Even sometimes trucking, real estate is seen as risky because it's up and down. It has cycles and stuff. So you want to Google and get something that you love, but make sure that the NACE code that you love is in a fundable industry. You got me? So that is super important. So one, we have an optimized credit profile. Now we have to marry that optimized credit profile. That's correct. To a business. And that business has to have business credit. That business needs to look like a business. It don't even have to have revenue. First time I got money, I was a brand new business. I had no taxes. I had no revenue. I had no staff. I just looked like a business, Dr. Jody. And I'm going to tell your audience how to look like a business. One of the main things to look like a business is not to use your home address. Do not do it, right? Mm-hmm. Now, what I mean is you can get a brick and mortar. My first time out, I leased the spot in a brick and mortar from my church member, right? And so the first lady allowed me to get a spot that was in a commercial zone. Everybody don't have a first lady like that. So you also can get a virtual office. As long as one of the 22-year-old pre-underwriters, junior underwriters could look and Google you and see that you're at a commercial location, you're good. If you're not at a commercial location, I'm going to be honest with you, you can get money, but it's not going to be a lot of money because home-based businesses have the highest failure rate. So what we're doing is we're walking you down the avenue to get the most amount of funding with the least amount of resistance. So
beautiful. Can you hold that thought? We've got a break for a commercial break. We know that we're looking like a business. We're smelling like a business. And now you're going to have a great referral, Herman, from me with our sponsor, businessfromhome.net. That's exactly, you can take that funding and make sure everybody looks like a business. Just take a look, take a listen.
Inflation is going through the roof. Food prices, gas prices, housing prices, insurance, everything. The average family is feeling the pinch. So what can you do? Ask your boss for a 20% cost of living wage increase? That won't end well. Fall for a get-rich-quick scheme? There are people who you can rely on to show you how to make money in a home-based business. Give us a chance to walk you through how it works. It's not really that complicated. You just have to find the right opportunity and the right people. Visit www.humongous.com/TV and submit your information. Maybe we can help. Millions of families are wondering how to work from home and earn extra income.
But they're going to be from home, but they are not going to be having a home address. That's where we left off. Businessfromhome.net. Check out Peter Mingles. He has the most affordable ads, ladies and gentlemen. He's got the most affordable everything to really start your business well. And boy, are we getting the information? We're getting all kinds of comments that said, wow, I never knew that. That's what I felt like the first time I heard you. So wow us some more, Herman.
Man, listen, it's my pleasure. So let me recap. It was three things. One thing is you want to have an optimized personal credit profile. Second thing, you want to look like a business. And when I say look like a business, it is a checkoff list, just like the 6 pillars you have in your wonderful program. When you are an entrepreneur and you're going to funding, the banks have an underwriting department. Those are young kids right out of college. Herman Marigny the fourth, right? He graduated from American University. Wells Fargo picked him up right out of college, right? His degree wasn't even wet yet, right? Or dry, as they say, wasn't even dry. They stuck him in North Carolina and they put him at the Wells Fargo there. And his main job was make underwriting, junior underwriting, making sure that any application in front of him that they had a business address, right? He Googled the business address, and then he would take the number, the telephone number to the business, and do what's called a reverse 411 to see if that number went back to that address. Then he would go to see if you had a website, right? And on that website, he also looked to see what is your return policies, what's the stuff, if that website is showing up anywhere else, if they have any negative views about that, right? So from there, he would make sure that all your information was current. He would go to the Secretary of State and see that you're a good standing, whatever state that you're in. He would also ask for your SS72 letter, or let me say your EIN letter. That's you call it your EIN letter, to see that you are really a real business and how you are formulated with the federal government. So there's a checkoff list for you to be able to have a commercial address. You need to be able to have a website. You need to have a professional email. You need to be listed in the Secretary of State in good standing. You need to have an SS4. And the occupation license would be the icing on the cake. We go over the other 14 steps inside of Credit Assembly, right? And we give you a free business scan to help you along the way with that. So those are the things that I look like a business. When I first got my money, any underwriter could look me up and see I was a commercial address. I had a website, right? I had an occupation license. I had all of those things to look like a business. You don't actually have to have money. This first round coming in, revenue, taxes, we can walk you in. But this is the level that I'm talking about, that you optimize your personal credit, because they're going to look on the soft pull. And when they look, they need to see that it is optimized. Secondly, you need to look like a business, Jody. If you look like a business and have optimized credit profile, we can get you funded. It's simple as that. They want to loan money.
They want to loan money because, just like I've heard from Coach, money comes from other people's pockets. That's an energy transfer. So banks' money comes from other people's pockets. And this DIY credit optimized AI, when you did your, I tell you what, that was financial. That must have been everybody that they're getting their first degree, and you were the professor giving us the 8th degree that you got, because you were so spot on. It was so exciting. Tell us about the DIY credit optimized .ai with this artificial intelligence. When you said to Forbes Riley,
Jody,
you have to work a little harder.
Jody, and listen, I got to tell you this, right? We're in another dimension. We're in another dimension. Please, artificial intelligence is here at a level that when we watched the Jetsons years ago, right? We're here now. We're in the Jetsons. Let me tell you this. So part of me getting you money is to help you to clean up your personal credit profile. If it's not optimized, my team will go in and they will clean it up, right?
Oh,
yeah, my team will go in. Yes, I got a call. My apologies. So my team will go in.
So clean up personal credit and rewind what you said that your team will do.
That's right. So my team will go in and make you fit the personal credit profile. They'll go in and use the laws to remove any derogatories, any inquiries that you didn't ask for, you didn't know about, right? They'll go in and clean you up to have the optimized part ready. Remember, optimize and look like a business. So a lot of people, they're not optimized. They don't know how to do it. So I'm gonna give you a personal example. So I had one client maybe 6 months ago. He had a bankruptcy on his credit, and he also had bad credit issues. He had some derogatories, some late payments and stuff like that. So our firm, me specifically, but it's because it's my firm, our firm charged him $2,500, $1,500 to remove the bankruptcy, and another $1,000 to clean up his credit to get it optimized. So it was $2,500. So guess what, Jody? Along comes AI. AI does everything I was doing even better because it's machine learning. That machine talks to the bureaus. So for example, if you have a bankruptcy on your profile, the machine knows what is the best dispute letters for the bankruptcy at Experian, the best disputes that has been the most successful at TransUnion, everywhere else, right? So the
Wow.
machine has this inside of his database. I cannot compete with that. And the machine does it for $49. So what I was charging $2,500 to somebody to help them out, right, was still reasonable. The machine does it for $49 a month. Amazing, Jody. So when I tell you the Jetsons are here, that machine learning has arrived, and it could not arrive at a better spot than optimizing somebody's credit. So it's DIY credit optimized.ai. I know you have DIY optimized up there, but it's DIY credit optimized.ai.
Okay, let me just change that.
I know we was doing it on the fly, but well, let me finish explaining. This is the most remarkable thing I ever seen. It does it to whereas it doesn't matter what state you're in, the machine will go in, look at your particular situation. I had one client, she had one late payment on one bureau, but not on the other two. The client didn't know that was illegal. Everything that's on your credit profile needs to be even. So the AI wrote the dispute letter for my client telling Experian that here's a screenshot of the other two bureaus. They do not have this late payment. It is illegal under FTC for you to be able to put this on here and it doesn't match the rest of the bureaus. You are affecting the client's thing. And the client got it removed. You got me? Using the laws, using the stuff, because the law says, this is the law, it's not me. Everything on your credit profile needs to be 100% accurate, 100, not 99.9, because your credit profile is so important to capitalism that they need to take it off till they get it straight. They cannot show the rest of the world any inaccuracies because your credit profile is used for everything. Loans, cars, apartment, homes, everything, that it needs to be spotless. And so the AI uses that to be able to remove stuff legally off of people's credit profile much better than I can, or you could personally. There's no match to it.
Wow. And well, except they don't have the AI doesn't have the passion and the feeling behind it. And I know you got that.
Not
I know
yet.
that there you go. But it's DIY credit optimized.ai. So
that's correct.
So there we go. So I got that across there. So I mean, let's go in. I've got 5 more minutes. Let's go in to just how they can get a hold of you. I mean, people are going, I just got to say this before we go into that about the 49. I followed because I had one of those things called a divorce. I used the 3 bureaus like Experian and Credit Check Total. I used that forever, and it did nothing. And so how do you do something better than that? And let's go into this DIY.
So let's do that. Let's talk about what you was just saying. I love that. So I'm not going to name the competitors, right? But there's people out there where you pay a monthly charge for them to remove stuff off your file. They're big. This AI is going to shut them down. I'm not lying. So what happens is there's no incentive for them to hurry up. There's no incentive for them to do something. If you got 10 disputes on the 10 derogatories and I'm charging you $130 a month, where is my incentive to hurry up and get this done? AI is different. AI will dispute everything on your credit profile, everything at one time. It has nothing to do with dragging you out and everything else. Everything that's on there, on every bureau, it's going to take one bureau at a time and tell you, hey, this is the dispute, this is the problem, this is the solution for that. If you have a late payment, this is what it is. This late payment is past the duration time that is supposed to be on your file. And according to CFPB, it needs to come off. And it's going to tell the Experian that. It's going to go on to the next issue. Every issue is going to be personalized for your profile. Most of us, and me included in the past, we will give you a dispute letter like giving you a hammer and let you use that dispute letter everywhere. And that's not the way this works. It needs to be individualized for each bureau. So this is the difference between what they're doing old school, I'm going to say, to whereas they get you on their roll and they just do 1 or 2 things a month and send you a letter like they're doing something. AI will dispute everything right now.
Right now, 49. I mean, it's crazy. $49.95 or whatever. It's like this is like a financial MRI.
You said it, doctor. You said it.
Yeah, financial MRI. So here we go.
Let me tell you the best part.
Yes, come on, go.
Let me tell you the best part. It is private. You're not turning your information over to no third-party people at all. It is between you and the machine. You got me? You and the machine. No human interaction. So the machine scans your credit report and tells you this is the best solution for that. You can pick my solution, or you can choose over here your own solution. And then it sends it to your email with instructions. You drop it in the mail. You print it in color, sign it, drop it in the mail. You just saved yourself $2,500 from dealing with somebody like me in the past. That's it. That is it. And now some states like Georgia, you cannot hire third-party people unless they're lawyers or nonprofit. This eliminates that because they were overcharging people. So now you can do it yourself. Let the computer do it, the AI do it, and it's perfect.
Entrepreneur, educator, empowering. My goodness gracious. And Herman, you just do it. This is why I'm just going to say we're going to work us out a financial deal to have you here on Traverse TV. I mean, I know it because you need a broader width. You need the bigger net because
let me tell you something.
From 2,500 to 49.
Doctor, can you hear me?
Yes.
You're singing to the choir. I love your platform. I love what you're doing. You touch me with the work that you're doing for other people, the millions of pounds you've helped people to be healthy and live longer, and all of those things. And you're a fighter and you're a go-getter. I would love to align myself with you. Love to. And I don't use that too often.
Well, you just made a 69-year-old girl blush. That's all I can say. So bring it home.
You don't look 60 anything. So until you told me that, I would have never thought it.
Well, there you go. So keep the cards and letters coming. Okay. Keep the little emojis going on the internet. But okay. So final words, but I want to honor you, Herman. Here you are in a church library doing your thing, making sure that you are serving others. Give us your last piece of financial wisdom. Y'all, you got to go get the 49. You just got to do it. You've got 49. Just give up Starbucks for a month. Because, by the way, we're not going to get into that right now, but you just got to be drinking my good ass healthy coffee anyway. So
I need some.
Yes. So go ahead and give us your last piece of financial wisdom. I know there's one in there more.
There is. This is for everybody that's out there, right? The game has changed, right? Now you should have everybody in your family should have optimized credit. Everybody. Because when everybody does, y'all can leverage as a group into a corporation and access more capital. Y'all please understand this. At this price, everybody in the house should have an optimized credit profile and leverage that into a business. So that is the key to capitalism, is that as a family, right? Y'all pray together, stay together. Y'all also increase your credit together, and you can leverage that into this capitalistic system and win. Absolutely win. Never look back.
Wow. It's the fifth quadrant. I love Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad or Poor Dad, but you've just given us the fifth quadrant. The family is the bank.
Wow. There.
The family is the bank, and that energy coming from other people's pockets, big. So Herman, thank you for gracing us with life's milkshake moment. There's whipped cream, there's sprinkles, there's a cherry on top, thanks to you. I mean it. Amazing. Thank you, Herman. So come back again and be encouraged, be in touch. And this is what I'm going to say. Ciao for now. I know you got to go. So let's take a listen to our third sponsor for this evening. And that is Ignite Publication. We're going out to humanity, just like we said that Herman needs a wider net. Ignite is now affecting humanity. Let's take a look, take a listen with your heart.
Now, more than ever, we need to come together to connect with one another. We need to feel the truth in who we are and let go of everything that's happened in the past. We need to empower every person on the planet and awaken hearts, enliven souls, come together, laugh, play, rejoice, connect, create, and love. It's time to ignite humanity. We want you to be a part of something that will impact the future for everyone. We want you to tell your story, share your Ignite moment, show people who you truly are. Be a part of igniting humanity and making a difference in the world and all of our futures.
all I can say is, wow. Didn't Herman Marigny take it to the third dimension like it's Herman Marigny the third with AI, with what he's doing, entrepreneur, educator, empowerment. He embodies, that's the fourth E, Les Brown saying, it is necessary for you to do what only you can do. Do it as if your life depends on it. In this sector, it is your financial sector because it does. I can tell you there are a couple of things that just thrill my soul. As I said, I have gone ahead and finished up everything concerning my 21 days to your best year. You're going to be hearing me talk a lot about this in the next upcoming days. Why? Because I took my dissertation that I finally just finished over COVID, became a PhD, even though I'd had a coursework of 20 years, just was doing a few other things along the way, and took my 800-piece manuscript. My husband said to me, Sugar, you're just going to go ahead, and is it going to just be a very thick placemat on the dining room table? No, he took it and he went ahead and said, you can do what I did. Turn it in to a book. Turn it in for something for the greater populace. That's what Herman Marigny has done here. He's taken his ideas and not kept them to himself. He shared it out. So, you know, I've talked about the 21 days to your best you. We've talked about circadian rhythms. The bodies have a rhythm. Every body has a rhythm. Then there's 7 days. Then there's 1 day. It's just not women that are on 21-day cycle. Ladies and gentlemen, it's all of mankind. You can make or break a habit in 21 days. So the 21 days to your best you keys for a life of excellence is exactly that. 1 day, every single day, building blocks upon another. We will be launching at the third week of April, Herman, right before we go in to our next XP Mentor event in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. So I can say that it's going to be amazing. But what is even more amazing is tonight, it's been a quadruple header. We had Doctor Talk with our symposium. I had the pleasure of being on Manny Lopez's Absolute Manifestation platform. Now we're Herman Marigny at 8:00 tonight. We are doing the inaugural Zoom, the Discovery Zoom for Healthopedia. You've heard me talk about this. We know what we are doing here. What are we doing? Well, I'm going to give you a little taste once again. Because when you have that vision, like Herman Marigny looked and he said, what are they doing over there? He wanted to be there. He wanted to be in the mix. You see, remember I told you about the story of Hulda Clark. She got fire in my belly about health. I can have my son be healthy and whole. He didn't have to take drugs, and he never has. In fact, both of my sons are vegetarian and they're 6'5" and 6'7". Don't tell you that you can't do that kind of thing when you're not big, strong, and athletic. But this is the part. I wrote my vision on that tablet. What was the tablet? It was a recipe card. It wasn't on stone like is in the Old Testament. It wasn't on my cell phone because I didn't have one, but I wrote it on a blue card and it said, 1985, April, I will pen the PDR for Eastern medicine. What is the PDR? It's the physician's desk reference. The physician's desk reference. And what it did, I said, to me, was life-changing when I saw that fallout of the notes that I was actually combing through during COVID, looking for some information from my book, looking for a client that had a pretty severely and rightfully diagnosed son with ADHD. What it was this, that note that fell out. And I realized the AMA isn't better. They're different. We're two sets of the coin. If I had a broken arm, I wouldn't go ahead and want to go to a health coach. I would go to an orthopedic surgeon. But I got the bug. Let's put together health enthusiasts, health practitioners, healers, famous influencers, famous people that want to change the trajectory of health as we know it. And guess what we got? We got just that. We got a program with people, financial, physical, mental, emotional, social, and financial. It has been amazing. The people that have come through. We're in need of, and we're finishing up the last 12 authors. What are we going to do with this book? It starts tonight. Go ahead and look at my social media. You can see where you can dial in for it. It's right here, right now. Healthopedia platform. Not only is it a channel, a platform, now it's going to be the foundations of health. It's going to be a 4-month process of authoring the book together, then a mastermind on how to market it. Because I guarantee you, it's not going to be a bulky thing that's hard in the linen closet or very expensive wallpaper, not on my dime. Then it's going to be marketed. We will have our launch and taking a break for the month of July. September, we go ahead and do the book in a virtual summit. But wait, there's more. We will go ahead and do the virtual summit twice in 2023, then launch it in a live summit in 5 cities to be decided. Then what if I had my database, and Herman Marigny III had his database, and Corey Hughes and all these XP mentors and all these people that you know, all these health practitioners coming together. And then we put a mastermind together. That's a lot of work. But if we had 100,000 people on the database, we can rev share, not only with the virtual seminars, we can rev share with doing this together. And when we rev share, when we do more, we attain more. Then we will go ahead every 6 weeks or however it looks, however many people that we can bring together, them doing the same thing, teaching about their 6-pillar excellence with health. And we're going to do it together in 2024. We know it's an election year again, but let's do more than just elect individuals. Let's empower individuals. Let's empower us to do this. And of course, with all of this going on, I did postpone the 3 weeks to Pristine Clean. It will be now March 13th, and it will be March 13th. It will be the 20th and 27th. And there you go, pristineclean.eventbrite.com. There's a little bit of delay with StreamYard. Love IT when it works, but it's one simple herbal combination taken accordingly can not only rid your body of these parasite aliens. Remember, there's 300,000 on planet Earth. 30,000 can invade your body, and 300 at any one time. Now, usually this program is $7.95. For my viewing audience, it's $2.95. It will include group information, private consultation when necessary, execution, implementation to take care of the inflammation for the rest of your life. You've heard me talk about disease. Uncle Harry and Harriet didn't die of disease. Did they die of inflammation? But the stress caused the inflammation. And where did the stress come from? Parasites. Just time to get rid of them. You will have an online access, a private channel that you can access this information forever. Because health isn't something you do, it's what you become. Life's journey. And like Herman said, your health is your wealth, but your wealth is your health so you can live. Energy, vitality to longevity. So let's, with our health and wealth segment here, do what Les Brown says. It's not over until you win. Win. And let's win together, shall we? So make sure that you reach out to me with any of this information that you do need. drjod.com. You can always send me an email there. It will get to me. My staff will reach out to you within 24 hours. Remember to reach out to Herman Marigny at creditsembly.inc. And also make sure that you sponsor and get acquainted with the amazing products of our sponsor, Confidence Tones, and not only Confidence Tones, but our other sponsor when it comes to businessfromhome.net. So as I say, health isn't something you do. It's what you become along life's journey. Life is like a milkshake. Choose your ingredients wisely. And when you do, in this financial sense, cha-ching, 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 you can hear the money coming in the flow of your family, 5th quadrant. Your life will be oh so sweet. Check us in on Monday with Mindset Monday. Cindy Tank Murphy, international best-selling author. She has absolutely graced our stage on Life's Milkshake Moment, but her book is now available to purchase on Amazon. She suffered the experience of suicide with her father, but she took that thing, that life emotion and that life incident, it didn't define her. She refined it into something else that she could go in and create a book to help everyone. Isn't that amazing? So tune in, noon Eastern time on Life's Milkshake Moment. And always, always, always remember, life is oh so sweet when you live it to live. We don't live to work. No, we work to live. I hope not anymore. Just live to live in all 6 pillars of your life. And that includes spiritual, physical, mental, emotional, social, and financial. Until, as we say, next time, Life's Milkshake Moments. This is Dr. J saying, have a healthy day.